It began with whispers, drifting through the global intelligence community like faint vibrations from something buried deep beneath the surface. A sudden shift in regional politics, unexplained financial turbulence, and the simultaneous disappearance of several high-ranking officials created a pattern too coordinated to be random. Felt like a tremor announcing a hidden force rising from the dark. No country claimed responsibility. No insurgent group released statements. Yet governments were bending, policies shifting, alliances collapsing, as if guided by an unseen hand. Somewhere in the shadows, silent power was reorganizing the world. Its political landscape, one that had eluded every intelligence agency until the consequences became too large to ignore. Within the secure walls of Langley, the environment pulsed with an undercurrent of urgency. Monitors displayed global feeds, data streams poured into analytic grids, and seasoned officers sensed the kind of subtle disruption that precedes geopolitical earthquakes. The CIA first detected the anomaly when a routine counterintelligence review flagged a strange pattern of political influence spreading across multiple nations. Newly elected leaders adopted identical foreign policies despite differing ideologies. Economic reforms emerged simultaneously across continents with no declared coordination. A suspicious event sealed the agency's concern. A foreign minister who had no known connection to global think tanks began executing policies drawn from a classified American strategic model. It was impossible unless someone had accessed someone who should not. The discovery phase unfolded like peeling back layers of a carefully constructed illusion. Analysts dug deeper into signals intelligence and found encrypted communications bouncing across private satellites, using frequencies reserved for state-level operations. Cyber intel uncovered unauthorized access attempts targeting policy drafting documents, suggesting someone was shaping decisions before they reached elected officials. Satellite imaging revealed frequent nighttime flights at secluded airfields in politically fragile nations, the type used for covert extractions or illicit exchanges. Every clue pointed toward an invisible architect carefully navigating global systems. Early signs of danger became unmistakable when intelligence officials realized these shifts were not isolated events, they were synchronized steps in a larger game. Recognizing the magnitude of the threat, the CIA authorized the formation of a specialized task force, called into a sealed operations room rarely used except for existential-level crises. Among them were counterintelligence veterans, geopolitical analysts, dark web trackers, and covert operatives capable of vanishing into hostile environments without a trace. As they monitored the growing anomalies, patterns began to sharpen. Politicians attended undisclosed meetings without their security details. High-value financial transactions moved between shell entities created mere days earlier. Unmarked aircraft shuttled between countries on no official registry, landing for minutes before disappearing again. Covert behaviors indicated something more than corruption or espionage. It was a coordinated plan to infiltrate governments from the inside, replacing legitimate authority with silent proxies loyal to an unknown power. Confirmation of the conspiracy arrived in a single encrypted file extracted from a compromised diplomatic terminal. Deep cover agents acquired fragments of internal memos referencing an organization known only as the Directorate. The language portrayed a structure more advanced than any criminal syndicate, with levels of secrecy rivaling intelligence agencies themselves. Satellite scans revealed a heavily fortified compound in a remote mountain range, constructed with architectural techniques designed to evade thermal detection. Intercepted communications confirmed the presence of high-ranking officials from multiple countries visiting this hidden site under the cover of humanitarian inspection missions. The evidence was overwhelming. A shadow government had taken form, a clandestine power network. Capable of manipulating nations without firing a single shot, its influence creeping through the world like roots beneath the soil. The CIA response demanded precision, subtlety, and the kind of strategic deception rarely deployed in modern operations. Cyber infiltration teams launched probes into the Directorate's communications grid, mapping its neural-like structure and creating silent tunnels into its command architecture. Surveillance captured the movement of couriers carrying encrypted drives, each one an artery feeding the shadow organization. Sabotage operations disrupted the financial lifelines supporting the network, choking illicit funds through manipulated banking algorithms. Deception specialists planted false directives and intercepted communications, crafting internal confusion among the Directorate's ranks. The urgency escalated as intelligence uncovered a chilling detail. The shadow government was not only infiltrating elected institutions, it was preparing to seize control of entire regions through targeted political collapses. The climax of the operation arrived when the CIA uncovered the true nerve center of the Directorate's global scheme. Deep within the fortified compound, an underground chamber housed a real-time geopolitical manipulation system, integrated platform combining hacked intelligence, feeds, blackmailed officials, and compromised communications networks. The system monitored global politics like a chessboard, identifying which leaders to coerce, which policies to exploit, and which governments to destabilize. The most shocking discovery was a database containing psychological profiles of thousands of key officials, tagged with vulnerabilities, leverage points, and control strategies. The Directorate had built a blueprint for silent global domination, operating with the precision of a machine fueled by human weakness. With the full truth exposed, the CIA initiated its most delicate covert action. To dismantle the Directorate without triggering geopolitical panic, they executed a multi-pronged strike, relying entirely on deception, cyber warfare, and targeted extraction. Covert operatives infiltrated the compound's periphery under deep cover. Guided by satellite data showing shift rotations and blind spots in thermal sensors, at the same time, cyber teams launched a blackout attack, severing the Directorate's command infrastructure and isolating the facility from all external communication. As the shadow government scrambled internally, believing they were under attack from rival factions, an extraction unit seized their key strategists, removing them silently from the compound and transporting them to undisclosed black sites. Simultaneously, embedded malware corrupted the Directorate's manipulation system, erasing decades of accumulated leverage data in minutes. Resolution unfolded not with explosions or headlines, but with quiet rebalancing. Nations that had shown signs of external manipulation gradually returned to their natural political trajectories. Compromised officials suddenly lacked direction from their unseen masters and faltered in their shadow-driven agendas. Financial networks once controlled by the Directorate collapsed, leaving no trace of their origins. The remaining operatives, stripped of leadership and resources, scattered into obscurity, unaware of how completely their influence had been erased. No government publicly acknowledged the fall of the shadow organization. Statements were issued, no press conferences held. The world continued, as if nothing had ever threatened it. Unaware that a global power structure had existed and vanished within a span of weeks. In the final reflection, the operation became a silent reminder of the hidden battles shaping the world's political equilibrium. Intelligence work was not simply about stopping wars or tracking insurgents. It was about confronting invisible threats that operated where citizens could not see them. The heroes who dismantled the Directorate would never be known, their victories buried beneath layers of classification. They worked in a realm where success meant absolute silence, where triumph was measured and crises avoided, not celebrated. And even as the world returned to its natural rhythm, the analysts and operatives understood a deeper truth. For every shadow government exposed and eliminated, another could rise in its place. It was the nature of power, drawn to darkness and secrecy. The guardians of the unseen world remained vigilant, scanning the faint signatures of hidden movements, ready to confront the next force rising from the depths of global secrecy.